Hello everybody and welcome. It's Saturday and you know what that means. It's Classic Who Zone. Yes, we've started a little bit early because there's something that I have to do later on. So yeah, that's why we are going 15 minutes early. But yeah, we're here so what we've done is with the classic stories we've decided to actually split them in half. Instead of doing all the episodes as we usually do, we decided this time round we would split them in half. So we're here for part 4 of the I can never say it right. Sensorites. Probably still said it wrong. But anyway, so part 4, part 5, and part 6 tonight. So without further ado, we will get our panel on and we'll get this show on the road. Yeah, right. Let's go. Without further ado, we got the one and only royalty on the channel. It's the one and only Queen Charlotte.
Hello, I've watched the episode, so now I know what I'm doing.
No problem. Fantastic. Next, we've got the one and only problem being who was actually fashionably early this week. He was the first one in the studio. So I think that has to be acknowledged because he's always late. So well done.
Bloody cheek. Hello.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Nice. All right. How's it going?
I miss a bit of Brucey on Saturdays.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was the right kind of corny for me, Brucey.
Oh, good old Brucey. Play your cards right. Oh, I miss all that.
Yeah, I loved that show as well. Let's bring on our next guest. I have sent an email to Cultivated Media. We'll see if they join us. If not, we'll just go ahead. Anyway, but our next guest is the one and only Real Super Doctor.
Hey, how are you doing?
Not too bad. I see that you blacked out just before we started, so you might be having internet issues. So if John does go, it's because he has the old internet issues. We got 15 people watching right now. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And when you are ready, please press 1 in the chat. What happens is then Charlotte, anybody new in the chat or anybody new listening, what happens is we get you to get your classic episode or classic story. To this week, it's William Hartnell. Actually, we William Hartnell for a while because we're doing the whole era. Then we move on to Patrick Troughton. And what we do then is Charlotte at the start of each episode, we'll do a countdown and then we will get everybody to press play at the same time so you are in sync. And and then that's what we do then. Then people leave their comments in the chat while we're going, and the panel will be yapping away as
and we sometimes talk about the actual episode.
Yeah, but this week, well, because of what happened last week, this week we will stay focused. We'll stay focused this week. So I see there is 1-1 in the chat. But there's if the rest of you could please press 1 so we can get started. That will be absolutely fantastic. And I've got mine set up ready to go, and it looked like it loaded up straight away.
Which episode is it?
4.
We did
episode 4.
4, 5, 6 tonight.
We're on episode 4, 5, and 6 today. Yep.
Right.
So
I see a few more ones. Should I do the countdown?
Just wait for John there.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Right, John's ready there. So without further ado, Charlotte will do the countdown.
Yep, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
As you can tell, my voice is a bit better now, so I can do it a bit. I don't sound as much like I'm dying, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Oh, hold Ian again. It's always Ian.
Grandfather!
Well, my dear, it looks like he's been poisoned this time.
How I don't know how you're not doing audios, mate, with like William Hartnell voice, because it's uncanny.
I just don't know if I'm good enough or not.
Oh,
But,
trust me, you are. Like
You are. Very
considering
good.
the level of other fan, let's say, impressions I've heard of other doctors, yours is uncanny.
Yeah, it's just it was just years ago. I just decided to kind of practice them. You know when they had came on to UK Gold, I was like kind of imitating them and just like in the mirror with my long scarf
But
and
the
that.
thing, the thing that's really good about how you do it, you don't just copy his voice. You can tell you've looked at how the intonation and all of
Yeah.
that stuff. It's not just a copy of a voice, which a lot of people do. Even the good
Yeah.
ones can be a bit like that. That's why I quite like Coleshaw when he does do these impressions, because you can tell he actually knows the person very well. He's trying to be, especially doctors. Is Tom Baker's brilliant.
Yeah. He's really good at Tom Baker, but
He
he can
is.
also do a good John Pertwee as well.
See, I've not heard his brig a lot. Apparently, he's a very good brig.
Yeah.
He also does a very good Anthony Ainley.
Oh, I think I've heard a bit of his Amy. Actually, yeah, and his isn't so much of a. He's not got a really rich voice, has he, Amy? So I always thought that'd be harder one to do.
Yeah.
He's got a sort of slight shush sound, you know. In the...
Yeah, but it's not like a Delgado that's got that sort of very sort of smooth, sinister voice. Whereas Amy's a bit higher, isn't he? He's a bit.
Yeah, the guy does the voice of Delgado for Blackwell Studio. He does a really good.
I can't even
I've
do
heard
Delgado.
He's cracking. I've heard that guy.
Yeah, and the guy does the Pertwee voice. He's American, but he sounds just like John Pertwee. It's incredible.
Oh, see,
much better than the guy from Big Finish, I have to say, quite honestly.
See, that's really clever, because usually when Americans, God love them, not all of them, but sometimes when they try and do British voices, you can just tell it's an American trying to do it.
Well, you got a different vowel, you know.
Yeah, a completely different way of speaking, so it's just hard for them to, I think, translate that, isn't it?
See, with William Hartnell, he's like the grumpy old man. He's like he's like the senile old man. He's got this kind of whimsical ability. He's got this kind of oddness about him. He's got this. It's like that he knows exactly what's going on, and the rest of them just don't know exactly what's going on. And you know, he's just having the adventure of his lifetime. And
oh no, it's like
in this role.
Is it in this episode 4, episode 5, when he properly like chews out one of the Sensorites?
Yeah.
And they sort of say to him, "You're threatening us," and he's like, "This is not a threat." And it's such good acting in him. I don't know which episode it is. It's one of these 3. And that's what I like about Hartnell, that he doesn't really raise his voice.
No.
And because of sort of some of my family, that's what I've always been taught, that if you want to get your point across, you go lower, you don't go higher. So I can see Hartnell doing that sometimes, that he might get a little bit louder, but it's not shouting.
Yeah.
He never shouts. But it's definitely an order. But you can feel that when he does it, when he's on fire.
It's even with Peter Davison. You can notice that with Peter Davison. You see when he tries to encounter the Cybermen and says like something like, like it was like the well-prepared meal line to the Cyberman, and the Cyberman says it's irrelevant, and the Doctor says some small beautiful things are what life is all about, and he kind of carries that off very well.
Oh, Davidson can bite. That's what I like about Davidson.
Yeah.
Even when he was allowed to do it on his television run, I like him when you get those sort of biting one-liners now and again.
Yeah.
Which he does in Big Finish. They've just amplified that even more. So his Doctor's very like that on Big Finish.
Yeah, he does channel quite a few elements of Hartnell, I think, in his Doctor.
Yeah, and Troughton as well. Hartnell with the fingers, and it's like Peter Davison kind of challenges the youthful version of Hartnell, and he's wanting the youthful version of the Doctor, and manages to imagine how it would work out being a young Doctor.
Well, he was obviously we've had Matt.
Yeah.
You can both see in both those Doctors that sort of older man bleeding through in both their Doctors, and I wouldn't be surprised. I know Matt has talked about Troughton being more of his inspiration, but I could say the same about Matt. I can see bits of Hartnell.
Yeah.
Because Troughton never came across as an old man to me. He was too sort of always moving about, always sort of either playing his recorder or, like he was never still. So he never came across as an old man to me, Troughton.
Troughton basically played it as a clown. He was quite kind of loose as he was going along, and then he thought that's how he could make the Doctor more serious. If he was clown to begin with, and then he could work right into the serious things, and you think, oh my goodness, this guy isn't a clown as he seems. I mean, it is absolutely amazing portrayal as the Doctor from Patrick.
Oh yeah, Pat was sort of like sometimes the court jester, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then other times, deadly serious.
Then Tom Baker was more like, he was the kind of the bohemian kind of wanderer, and he was like a schoolboy truant, and like he wasn't like obeying the rules and everything like that.
Yeah. Tom was in every class. You have the one who wants to have attention and does jokes to get attention off the teacher. That's Tom.
And it's the big scarf wearing and that for a distraction of his enemies and that. And I thought that was cleverly done, and I could see that in Sylvester McCoy as well.
So hold on, Susan there did a whole thing about like they're reading their minds. So would that be the fourth time ever that they actually did this in Doctor Who?
Well, with Susan, it's not like a Time Lord sort of contact thing. It's more I see it as she's got basic telepathic abilities.
Yeah.
And because they work off telepathic abilities, the Sensorites, they're recognizing something a bit like their own, so they're being able to communicate with her that way.
And even at that point, young, they didn't know it was a gift of the TARDIS.
Well, I've always seen it's more of a Susan thing, because doesn't this come up a few times with her with telepathic sort of hints?
She always could sense things happening.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't know if it was because that she was. We don't really know the real background of Susan. We only can assume that she is a Time Lord herself. But what is the real relationship? I would suspect that is the Doctor's granddaughter, and that really is.
The way he acts around her, I think it's you couldn't fake that love.
No.
And there's a good moment in this half actually where she does try and like disobey him, or she does disobey him, and he's very. And I love the line when he sort of says, "We've been traveling for how long, and we've never had an argument, but now we have." So you can really get the sense of that grandfather, and I don't think you could fake that.
And that's what I liked about Hartnell is the fact that he was a grandfather and that, and he had the relationship with his granddaughter, and it was like, you know, they were the team, and until Ian and Barbara came along, and you know, it kind of brought the Doctor down a wee bit. It kind of, because the Doctor was getting too high in authority, as we saw at the beginning, and even in the pilot episode, you could see how distant and alien he was, and how they were trying to write him out as.
Yeah, and the family angle makes him a little bit more palatable, doesn't it?
Yeah. We've got Chris from Cultivated Media in the house.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Chris.
How are we doing? Super
not too bad.
Charlotte,
we can give you a timestamp if you want, because we've already started.
We've already started. Can you give me a second here? I'm just going to start up VLC player.
No problem.
You started early today.
Yeah, because believe it or not, I have another stream to do on my gaming channel because the Fortnite season ends, so the end events. I'm doing that with Melina.
And the legends in the chat, Daniel Leach.
Hello, legend.
Oh, it's Saturday. Why are you not at football, Daniel?
Ooh.
Is it tomorrow? Or was there a protest? Was the old COVID restrictions brought back in and everybody's locked back down again over Christmas because they're cruel idiots? These politicians, you know, they just want to ruin everything now, don't they? Even Christmas they do.
Yeah.
Like Christmas. But, you know, there you go. The last hope of me having actually some fun is ruined now. But there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to this story, because I did promise that I wouldn't, that we'd keep it.
So we're on episode 4?
Yeah, we're on episode 4, mate, and we're about, I think we're 13 minutes in now. Let's say.
I'm coming up to
11 minutes, 12 minutes. We're coming up to 12 minutes now, yeah.
Okay, I'll set it at 11:59.
Oh, and Daniel just said it's tomorrow, his football.
It's tomorrow. Yeah, the new era with our new manager begins tomorrow too. We beat the Arsenal during the week, so that was nice.
Is this the soccer ball?
This is the soccer thing that you don't like. And again,
I don't even know what the team is.
But Manchester United. But there's the Doctor being a doctor. Did you notice that? It was the Doctor actually being a doctor.
Oh yeah, it's funny, that whole medical thing, because like in some stories and incarnations, it's like he wants to deny having any medical knowledge, and then in others it shows its head now and again. It's such a funny little quirk, I think, of the Doctor.
Yeah, and he also feels the personal responsibilities for his companion here, and it's good that what he's trying to do, but he also susses out that there's also a traitor amongst the Sensorites that's actually done this. Which is quite clever, actually, because it works it out when he goes down to the aqueduct.
Well, the Doctor's, I think even in William's first version, he's almost a detective in parts, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or like, maybe not a detective, a bit almost like Victorian Sherlock Holmes. Not
that was always the sort of element to Doctor Who that was very successful, was the sort of leaning into the Sherlock Holmes thing, and they did that very specifically with the third Doctor in his run with Delgado's sort of Moriarty figure, and again with Tom Baker in the Talons of Wang Chai.
By the way,
I thought that was really good of Tom Baker and his performances in that Talons of Wang Chai.
And of course, he played Sherlock Holmes as well, didn't he? In Hounds of the Baskerville.
Yeah.
By the way, coming back next Sunday, New WhoZone is back.
Yeah, but have you worked out what episode it is?
Yeah, we're on Matt Smith's era, so I think we did Dinosaur in a Spaceship, didn't we?
Oh, God.
Yeah, we did.
Can we just skip that one, please?
We did do that one. We did that one,
yeah.
Oh,
you know who wrote that one?
Yeah, it's the one after that, I think, isn't it?
He wrote that one too.
He stole that one.
That's the Power of Three.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, we do the Power of Three, so that's the next one. Yeah.
Isn't that the one we're coming back on?
Yeah, that's the one we're coming back on, the Power of Three. No, actually, hold on. What's the one? Hold on, I'll check it now.
The one that comes after that is a town called Mercy, I think.
Oh no, yeah, we got Town Called Mercy.
Oh no,
Town Called Mercy, yeah. Next.
That was such a bad season.
Yeah, that's the season where, I know, but Matt Smith's performance in it is brilliant. It's just...
See, I like A Town Called Mercy. I seem to be one of the only few people that do.
I don't know if I've watched that one since it aired, actually.
It's a good episode. Yeah. No, it is a good episode. It's just...
just needs a bit of tweaking.
It's supposed to be a Western town. They don't act like a kind of... I know it's Doctor Who and it's for family. But
and the whole they didn't have time to watch it
again. I wasn't a huge fan when it came out, but I didn't hate it as some out there do. Actually, there is a lot of people that actually hate that episode.
That's what I mean. I seem to be like one of the few that go, actually, I think it's a good one.
And the Power of Three is not bad until it gets near the end.
No. Like the beginning's all right.
I would say this, right? It's very slow. It's boring. Like, we should have known what we were. Oh, no, shut up. No, say nothing.
No, they with that season, there's no excuse for we had to rush these things because they literally only had to do 5 episodes that year.
Well, Moffat was stretched. That was the problem. That was the start of him having too many, basically, projects, and you could see it. Because he was doing Sherlock at that time, so he was just
he was doing Sherlock as well, which for me, like, it might have worked with RTD, him being able to bring back Torchwood, but I don't see this is
RTD would delegate Moffat
when before his 4th season with Matt Smith was brilliant, right? 2nd season then is when he started with Sherlock, right? Now watch the quality of Doctor Who, right? And compare it to the quality of Sherlock at the time. Season 1 and then Series 2, right? The writing on Sherlock improved from Series 1 to Series 2, but Doctor Who suffered big time. And then you could actually see by his next series that some of the Sherlock Holmes tropes were creeping away into Doctor Who, and that was the thing. I think he did very well with Sherlock, to be quite honest with you, but Doctor Who did suffer. Doctor Who definitely suffered.
So the problem with Moffat compared to RTD is RTD could delegate. Whereas Moffat was a control freak, so
he wanted to do everything.
So that's why RTD could run 3.
Did he go? This is the antidote. Like, he just didn't know what to call. So I'm sticking with the episode here.
Okay, yes, we just got off topic a little bit.
I didn't cause it this time.
Sorry, Chris, I cut across you, but it was a line in the story.
I think there's some sort of flubs in some of these episodes. Some of the actors seem to almost start a line and then stop and then start it again. I've noticed that a few times, and it wasn't Bill doing it. That's why I noticed it, I think.
Yeah, well, they only had 2 chances to get it right, I think, didn't they?
They were allowed 4 cuts per episode.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And that's it, because the tape was so expensive and they'd reuse it, so you couldn't destroy it. So you could cut 4 times. So you had to. They were deciding, okay, which Bill flub lines were the worst, and those were the ones that would get cut.
But no, that's what I think. I noticed it in these 6 because I don't notice it all the time with Bill, because it wasn't Bill doing it. I think Susan does it once, and I think somebody else does it, and it really stood out to me.
What William Russell does it, and I think it's the Powerful Enemy. See the very end when they're crossing the big drop, and Ian Chesterton says, "Bill, I'm over."
Oh,
oh no.
Well, like you said, they were probably under so much pressure because they knew that they could only have those cuts Chris was talking about.
Yeah.
Well, it's not only the pressure. Like, look at the sweat on Bill's face. Like, the pressure that they were under was immense because they would rehearse all week, and they'd film on Friday.
Well, don't forget though, back in those times in the 60s, if you were doing TV, a lot of the times it would be live.
Oh yeah,
so, they were performing as if they were on stage, because that's what a lot of them were, stage actors.
Yeah, although if you look at it, I'm like they're in this. You look at just the sweat on William Hartnell's face. They were under pressure to get this done, and it was hot as hell.
Hot as hell, yeah.
Like 100 degrees. Like, it literally, when I look at these, it's like every week they would literally spend 4 hours in hell.
Can you imagine being one of those Sensorites wearing all that?
Oh, anything with a mask.
Stuff.
And Bill and Troughton's run, they must have nearly passed out half the time.
Yeah.
Although they moved to another studio partway through Bill's run that was a lot more modern and not as horrific, and then they dumped them back to Lime Grove when Hartnell started. Or not Hartnell, when Troughton started.
No such thing as health and safety back then.
Nope.
I do love the look of the Sensorites, though. I think they look fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, especially with what you have to work with for back in the day.
I think it's very creative, the whole head sculpt.
It looked crap. Let's be honest. If this was filmed in color, it looked shit. The costume
would look
absolutely crap.
That's why I think, even though they're so impressive when they do colorize the Bill stuff, I think almost it works better as little clips. Because I do think if you were to colorize the whole serial, you would see all the issues.
Yeah, you would.
In like a 2-minute or 5-minute max clip that they've picked to colorize, which is what they're doing quite a bit now, you sort of just get transported by seeing it in color. But I think if you saw the whole thing, it would almost.
I don't think it's necessarily so mumuch the color. I think it's if they upscale it. Then it really throws into sharp relief. All the shoddy.
The make-doisms that they probably had a lot to. That they had to
and the episodes were never meant to be shown in color, even though there's color photographs of most of the episodes.
And also screens this size as well. Big screens wasn't meant to be on big screens.
No, that's why when you watch something that's filmed in standard def, say even TV shows from the 90s on DVD, in the 90s they look fine because they're on a max 36-inch CRT monitor with limited resolution. You put them on a 65-inch monitor in modern day, upscaled high definition, standard def looks absolutely horrific.
See, I much prefer the voices than the actual costumes. I like the voices that they give them. It's a sort of wispy, but not. It's sort of got that odd quality about them.
Yeah.
Oh, you duplicitous little furry thing, you.
I had to turn it up because they're talking so lightly.
Yeah.
Daniel's not a fan. He says this is Hartnell's worst story, in my opinion, by a country mile.
No, that's Planet of Giants, but this one's probably up there.
I think this has got some really good ideas in it. They just didn't know how to do them all 6 episodes, if that makes sense.
Well, if you look at the production schedule they had back then to begin with, they were doing an episode a week.
I think they blew their budget with the Daleks story as well.
This is when the Doctor finds out. Oh.
And the next episode is kidnapping. He's already, guys, in the chat. You know what to do. Just press 1. We'll all get it ready.
BritBox is like switching over really, really fast now. It's like it used to give you like a few, like 10 seconds. Now it's like 2 seconds. That's crazy.
I'm watching my old school DVD.
Ooh.
Nice.
It's funny that the DVDs play at a different rate to digital on, because it's still a spinning disc. So it's analog digital, isn't it? But like,
well, it's also in region 1. It's reverse standards converted. Or I should say, no, not reverse standard. Well, actually, some of them are reverse standards converted, but these are the standards converted. So they don't. There's always going to be a slight offset in the speed.
Yep. So are we ready? Because
Yep.
No, hold on. It's at the skipping on me.
So the chat's all trained and put their ones in.
Yeah,
they're doing it.
You remember we used to have to keep asking them.
Yeah, no, they're on it now.
They've had enough time with us now that they know the routine.
Episode 5, yeah?
Yep, episode 5.
Kidnap.
I'm just waiting for it
to load.
Lee, we said we'd be good and not talk about that certain person.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I've created a new hashtag. I want everyone to use it. It's get the flux out. Hashtag get the flux out.
I can't be arsed.
Okay.
I actually can't be arsed.
I without mentioning the person's name, I'm still recovering from reviewing 2 episodes of anal leakage back to back. And that was awful.
Right. Yeah. Right, let's just get into this. Come on. Keep it on.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm not completely well. I'm just better.
Oh,
are you under the weather, Charlotte? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's winter.
Hey, Gobby guy.
Hello, Gobby and Chris.
Hello, Gobby.
It's winter, and I'll say my job means I get every germ going. So I've had a cough for the last 2 months.
I used to be like that when I worked in retail, as I was a retail manager for like forever. And I hated this time of year because I would get sick because nobody would clean their hands or just they're disgusting. And it's
in the private chat, Chris, I'll tell you what my job is, and then you'll understand why I've been ill the last 2 months.
Oh, I can imagine, but we'll see if I'm right.
Right, let's do a few shout outs in the chat. So we got Dave in the chat. Welcome. Obviously Queen Charlotte's there, problem being PD Rich. Real Super Dr. Peter Harrington, Robert Campbell Stonebanks, welcome. Nice to see you. We got Garrett in the chat as well, welcome. We got the legend, obviously, Teddy Terrier Tales. We got Froyley 1974 in the chat as well. Welcome. Unknown 289, welcome. And Gobby Guy, as Lee just pointed out there as well. If I've forgotten anybody, let me know. Don't think I have. But
Robert Campbell Stonebank says, I personally don't mind if actors fluff their lines, as it makes the conversations more like real life. That's true. As there are times we all may trip up over our words. So for me, it makes it all more believable. That's very true.
True, but again, it's a testament to them. Like, I mean, if you think about it, how many fluffed lines are there? There wouldn't be that many, I wouldn't say, throughout his whole run. So that's just a testament, obviously, to himself. Obviously, when he would have got ill, it probably would have been a different story altogether.
Even when he fluffs it, he still has that air of authority. That's what's amazing about Bill. Like, he can fluff a line, he can slightly stumble, but he never loses his power in his voice. Like, even when he's doing it, he still has that commanding presence.
So Real Super Doctor put in an article from the Express.
I've not even looked into it because it sounds like complete rubbish. That's all I'll say.
Well, it's the Express.
Yeah, they've not got a good track record.
But let me see who the actor is.
Your reaction's going to be fun now.
I have no idea who that is. And oh dear Charlotte, I am so sorry. That's actually worse.
Now you know why.
Yeah, it will be worse.
You poor girl. Oh my god.
Oh.
Why do you think I have so much patience? Let's put it that way.
Oh yes, because you've been putting up with us now for how many years? And you haven't run screaming.
Well, I'm the token female for you guys, so you can't be sexist if I won the panel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Shut up, woman.
Well, no. See, you're the token girl. Lee's the token gay guy. What am I? I'm the token Canadian. We're all tokens.
Well, actually, if you were to go by everybody on the internet, you're the token white supremacist.
Oh, that's true.
So I might as well have balance on the panel, just talk about balance on the panel.
Yeah, it's and
right. He's only thrown his hat into the ring, and they've made an article about it. And by the way, he does be on those panel shows. He's not. I know he's acted in a few shows as well, but is he Doctor Who level? Yeah,
No.
Yet again, I would have to say.
Who is the actor?
No idea who it is.
It's Robbie
actor.
Ragnar Taunton. He does be on Sky One. He does those.
Ramesh
He's basically another version of Carl Pilkington.
Right.
That sort of very sarcastic, very dry sense of humor comedian.
Yeah. Right.
That's done very well on panel shows for himself.
Yeah, he does well on panel shows, and he has acted in a few comedies. But if you're asking me if I'm judging him on his acting ability for Doctor Who, is he Doctor Who material? I'd have to say no. Like, that's just the bottom line. And now
he's the sort of person you'd get in like a special for like a bit part.
Yeah.
Do you know how like now and again they
play an alien?
That? Yeah, that's what I mean. Like bit parts in specials. Now and again you get comedians who do that.
Right, back to the episode anyway. Naughty super doctor. Naughty super doctor.
Naughty super doctor.
Yeah, naughty. You're the one that put the article in the private chat. Naughty boy.
You both just sounded like
naughty.
Naughty, master.
There are some adult themed movies like that.
The sports quiz guy says Friday 1974. Yes, that's the guy. Yeah. Look, it's the Express. You don't take the Express seriously.
And it's silly season. Everybody will be putting their name forward.
Yeah, listen, there's someone, they'll go, a journal, this is how they get their articles, right? A journalist will go and see someone and they go, how are you? What's the story? Would you have any interest in playing the doctor now that Jodie Whittaker's gone? Oh, yeah, I'd love to be the doctor. Right, let's write an article about it. Oh, yeah. Is the next doctor, and then you read the article. Such and such throws the name in the hat for the role of the doctor. It's the Express, man. They're not worse than the Sun newspaper. Nobody is worse than the Sun newspaper, but they come to house.
See, I do like this.
All your newspapers are silly.
No, I do like this plot idea that one of the companions innocently says, "Oh, we wouldn't tell you a part of it wasn't for your sashes," and then basically the villain takes that idea and runs with it. I do like that because it shows intelligence. It shows that the villains aren't just these sort of cardboard cutouts. They're actually thinking beings who go, "Actually, no, that I'll use that."
Gobby Guy is the new doctor. Congratulations, man. Well, at least a male doctor. Well done.
I could picture it now, Gobby. You shouting at Daleks, it would work brilliantly. You would just have to like trim down half your dialogue to be on the BBC. So no, just have a look in the chat. Somebody's just posted something interesting.
Yeah, I've seen that. I'll have a look.
Yeah, maybe see if yours hear anything. Which that means though, timing wise, that's not good for the specials.
No, it wouldn't
If you
be.
think about when the first one's going to land.
Come along, my child. Now I have the power.
I bet you fall.
Yeah, so he wrote there May, and he has May obviously highlighted, be a couple of RTD2 announcements in the next few weeks. But if you think about it, right, it makes sense because what's the date now? We're in December. It's December 4th. So the next few weeks could mean that. It could mean 2 weeks from now, could mean a week from now, or could mean next year in January.
Well, yeah, see, though, I just think it would be daft, but we've said this, that they seem to have this weird attitude to drop that just before New Year, which what it could be as well. Because then that would be another distraction from the special if the RTD stuff gets announced just before.
See, what I'll think is RTD will drop a trailer. It will just be like a kind of saying coming soon 2023.
Oh, I think it's too early for that, mate. They've not started filming yet.
Yeah.
If there's any announcements, it could literally just be possible casting for the 60th.
Yeah.
Not Doctor casting, but other casting, let's put it that way. Or it could literally just be what he's going to call it. It could be anything.
Hmm.
Bear Brummer always said you look better in a cloak.
See, this is actually interesting sat down talking scenes, isn't it?
Yeah.
I agree. I think he looks good in a cloak, old Bill. He can pull it off.
I was going to say, those costumes aren't very forgiving. God help you if you have any body imperfections whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
Which way do you dress?
And saying that, Chris, there was a few that are a bit chubby, God love them.
Oh, I wouldn't look good in something like that.
Oh, no, but there's some that aren't exactly stick figures, let's put it that way.
It's like Star Trek: The Next Generation, why they had to change the uniforms by the third season, because the spandex, the cast had to be in perfect shape or it would show anything. and guest actors were always complaining because they didn't look very good, so they changed them.
I've always thought that about original Star Trek, that God love Kirk. He was at the perfect age and fitness to wear that top.
Yep.
Let's put it that way.
About the green one?
Oh, just any of them. Like they all sort of were very clearly showing off that at that point Shatner had a very good body. Let's put it that way.
I believe he also often wore one that was one size too small just to show it off.
Probably, yeah. That sounds like something he'd do.
Whereas the older actors like Doohan and Kelly wore looser uniforms because, well, they were in their 50s. Oh, yeah, and Petey Rich says, yeah, and Patrick Stewart was starting to get backache. Well, yeah, you could tell. I'm like, they were so uncomfortable, and they had to wear them for like 16 hours a day.
Oh, here's a question in the chat that you might be able to ask, Chris. Is it a myth or true that Shatner wore a type of corset? I think. Maybe I'm reading that wrong, Peter. Correct me if I am.
Oh, which one? Is it a myth or true that Shatner wore a type of corset? No, that's true. He did. Not all the time, but yeah, he did. Because he, as the seasons went on, he put on weight. He was in perfect condition for season 1 and 2. By season 3, he'd put it on a little bit. So yeah, he's wearing a corset.
Wow.
I believe that's confirmed.
He is typing.
I'm not.
I'm not.
Say what?
I said Lee is typing.
That would be me. Yes.
You just know when Lee is typing. You can just hear that.
Oh no! Actually, that may have been me. I'm doing work at the same time, and I believe I forgot to mute myself.
Oh no! It's funnier when you have. That's just in the past when we've had certain types in the chat, and you can tell Lee's having an argument with them in the chat while he's on screen.
Yeah, that's what I mean by the veracity of how he's typing.
Yeah.
You know, he's actually...
No, that one was definitely me. My mechanical keyboard is right next to the Yeti. So I have 2 days of work to make up for this weekend because I reviewed a certain thing this week, and because it was 2 episodes, it took 2 days, so I had to rearrange stuff. So I do apologize for not muting the thing.
Like we said, we're used to Lee having an argument with people in chat while being on stream.
Fraley says, was Shatner not a likable guy? Not so much on the original series. He was at war with everyone. He had a bit of an ego back in those days, but he got much easier to work with as he got older.
I was going to say, back in those days, hasn't he still got an ego? But he's sort of he's Shatner, so he can get away with it.
Well, when he on his later shows like Star Trek, he was an absolute nightmare. Some of his later shows, like Boston Legal, he toned it down because he mellowed. His ego stayed, but he mellowed a little bit as he got older and became less confrontational. Unless you're George Takei.
I was going to say, that's what I love about him. When he's savage, he just goes for it. People he doesn't like. There's no pulling punches.
Yeah. I thought it was amazing him going into space like that and his age.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like it was like a good moment. If one of the Doctor Who cast could do that, that would have been amazing. But,
here's the thing though. Who do you think would want to do it the most?
Tom Baker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Actually, that's a good call.
And Tom Baker is 2 years younger than Shatner, so they're almost the exact same age. Except Shatner, I don't know what the deal is.
I don't know what he's drinking, but he looks he
looks great for his age.
70 Shatner does. Like, that's the thing, whereas poor Tom is beginning to look his age now.
Well, Shatner literally could still play an older Captain Kirk.
He could.
Yeah.
And he's 10 years older than Patrick Stewart, who can't play Captain Picard anymore.
Yeah.
See, the thing is with Tom, though, even though he looks older, the voice hasn't changed, and that's always amazed me. Because when actors get older, God love them, the voice gets weaker. It's just age. It's what it does. But with Tom, if you didn't see him and you just heard him, you'd think he was as young as he was when he was the Doctor. There's no weakening of his voice whatsoever.
Yeah,
no, it's a little bit deeper, but for if you listen to, say, if you were to have an audio with just Baker and Shatner, not seeing them, you'd swear they're like both maybe in their 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I think Davidson's voice is like his hasn't changed a lot. If you hear like Peter Davison on audio.
Actually, what I love about Davison on audio, at least, because I think I've kind of jumped out at the end of the regular range, but his what he actually did later on is his voice has deepened, like it's not as high as it was, but his audios became really dark.
Oh yeah.
He, which I think is awesome. Like, he started doing darker stories, and his deeper voice, darker, more surreal stories, and his voice suited them perfectly. As much as other Big Finish doctors went down the plug hole, which is pretty much all of them, he didn't. He actually got better. So listening to Big Finish going forward, if I ever do, I do want to listen to Davison, because he actually really late in his career started doing something completely different. So I'd be interested to see where he goes with his next releases. But he's 70 now.
Oh yeah, but he's another one, and the squeakiness that he did have a bit in his youth is gone now completely, hasn't it?
Yeah, and it's it works well because he was able to modify the character a bit, and he's a lot more serious, but it fits the tone perfectly with the stories that he was doing, where the darker, more surreal stuff. Like, I think one of the best standalone stories in Big Finish was the the second to last of the main range, which is a Davison Turlo story called The Blazing Hour, where they do their own version of Chernobyl. Just fit perfectly.
When I think of Davidson's audio stuff, I think of Spare Parts, and it's the scene where he's just they're trying to convert him. He's in the process, and he just absolutely has this incredible speech, and it's just laying into the Cybermen and what they stand for and how fake it is, and like there's no squeak, and he's growling, and it's just such an incredible speech of Davidson to give. because he is just sort of like the lines about, oh, you think this is like you're manufactured, your plant, and all that stuff. Oh, it's brilliant.
And I think out of the all the original Doctors, I think he had probably the most diverse career, because he didn't act for a few years after Doctor Who, but then he went on and did a bunch of he did, was it Very Peculiar Practice? He's done Last Detective. I know he's done a couple sitcoms. He did the one where he was the minister. So he does have an acting range and can portray a lot. I think it was one of them. I think it was the Minister show, maybe. One of them, he's just a completely nasty old dude.
Well, I almost think, Chris, in a weird way, because his Doctor wasn't such an iconic, defining Doctor, it helped him afterwards. Because, yes, Doctor Who was a big gig, because I knew he was... But then I said before that, he had All Creatures, and that was quite big.
Yeah.
But Doctor Who was obviously another level in a sense. But I think because he almost got enough credit outside of Doctor Who, that helped him later on, whereas Tom was too iconic as the part, so he really struggled afterwards.
Yeah. It's, well, no, Tom really was never able to live past Doctor Who, where Davison, I think the fact that he was younger really helped.
Yeah.
He was 29 when he was cast, so he was very early in his career. I voted in your poll, Noel. How does it have 40%?
Right. Well, I don't want to get into it because I don't want to really highlight it in live on the air, because I might motivate certain people. But I'll fill you in the private chat. Actually, Lee will fill you in the private chat, because he knows exactly why I got the vote. Yeah, there's a bit of nonsense going on, the usual from the other side, voting against me, basically, not voting for the poll, but trying to stick one to me. But what they don't understand is without going into too much detail what I'm really actually talking about, they don't realize the power of the fandom. And they tried to do the same with the William Hartnell Timeless Child one that I did, but William Hartnell won out in the end, because the fans will speak in the end. This is what they don't understand. Yeah, they might have a vocal minority on Twitter, but when it comes to the crunch, when we ask fans to rally around, listen, I haven't even told people to vote a specific way, where I have encouraged a lot of people to vote. And now the vote swung the other way. It was 60-40 the other way at one stage.
Thanks to Gary from Nerdronics. So thanks to him for
once he retweeted it, then everybody saw it, and then people start retweeting it, which I knew. I said once one of the big Twitter handles retweeted, that's it, it's game over. And it looks like, at the end of the day, it was a poll. I was asking a genuine question. Some people out there tried to stick it to me, and they're going to have egg on their face. I'm so confident that fans are so outraged what's happened, especially last week, that I think people that normally wouldn't vote in a poll are voting, because look at the amount of the votes it actually has. So yeah, so that's how we got 40% or 51 now it is, or something. What is it, 49 point something? I don't know what it is. It's close. No, actually, it's 41 point something. 50.
It's 50. Well, it says 59 to 41.
Yeah, there you go. So it's 59 to 41, but it was 60-40 the other way at one stage. I think with 900 votes or something.
So it swung 40% the opposite direction.
Yeah, it's 40% in the opposite direction. And there's still a few more days. If you haven't voted, please do. I won't tell you how to vote, but you will know yourselves anyway when you see the question. And yes, so it has been pointed out to me that I should have said worst, not worse. Fair enough.
Yeah, but people know what you're getting at.
But the thing about it is that they only, people like that only comment on your spelling mistakes when they know that they've already lost the argument. But there was a particular tweet from someone out there, which I won't mention, but I've hung on to it as a screenshot because when the poll goes the way that it is, I'm going to stick it to them. Because this particular person has been trying, has been keeping an eye on the account. Even Lee had a bit of a run-in with her last night. And she retweeted it. She's the one that actually skewed the vote in the first place, 60-40, because she got all of her little side to retweet, and they were retweeting it by the bucket load. The problem is now is they've ran out of steam, but their side is still like they're angry anyway.
Well, they can only set up so many accounts.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So they've already burnt out. There's 3 more days or something left. I don't care if it ends up being closer.
3 more days, and we've got Sunday's episode yet, so that could just be another ignition from our side. Let's put it that way.
I reckon so. So I'm not worried. Look, I'm not worried. Look, at the end of the day, I just put up a poll. But the reason why I want this now to be successful is because I've seen the reaction to it from the other side. Anytime I've done a poll, they think I'm doing it deliberately. I asked a genuine question. A lot of fans are angry, right? I didn't want to get into this, right? But I'll just finish on this. A lot of fans are angry after last week.
Fault.
Right? A lot of fans are angry. I'm very angry, right? And it's probably going to get worse tomorrow. Actually, more than likely it is.
Oh, no, come on, it is.
I've already resigned to the fact that it is. Let's just put it that way. But, right, it's going to get worse tomorrow. So I know fans are hurting right now, and I wanted to ask a genuine question. And, I put a poll up for people to vote, and it has over 1,000 votes. So it's a poll that I've put up that's had the most people voting on it. So I'll just say to everybody, if you haven't voted on the Twitter polls pinned to me account, the Untitled Zone, go in, vote. I'm not going to tell you which way to vote. You'll know when you see the question, and you'll know how to vote. Vote with your heart, not your head. I seen a tweet by someone, well, even though I agree he is the worst thing, I'm just going to vote no just to stick it to it, not my doctor. So this is why I want this poll to succeed now, because I want to stick it to them because I'm sick of them. Listen, they think that they can. They do this every time with me, right? It's whether I do a video on something and it's controversial, or I put up a poll, or I make a comment. It's controversial. I'm sick of just sitting back and not really doing anything about it. I used to do something about it and they leave me alone, So I just vote. You will see the question. Vote. I know which way it's going to go anyway, because I know how angry fans are. This Twitter crowd can say what they want, right? The bottom line is that the Doctor Who fandom is not on fucking Twitter. That's the bottom line. And what they have to, and they don't get that by now. They never will. It's why the ratings are down. Right, but I'm going to leave it there anyway, because tomorrow we'll have plenty. We will be talking plenty about this tomorrow anyway, after the shit show that is Doctor Who Flux.
And I may stop by, Noel, because I'm going to be doing some, even though I said I wouldn't do live streams while the thing was airing, technically it won't be airing anymore after it's done. So I'm going to do some stream surfing tomorrow, so I may stop by and say hi.
Yeah, not a bother. Go ahead. I look forward to hearing your opinion. I'm pretty sure we'll all be in agreement tomorrow.
We'll all be stupefied by tomorrow. I'm sure we'll be.
I'll probably we'll either be too fucking gutted to come on, or we'll be on and we'll just be in shock and just I don't know. But look, we'll leave it there. Press 1 in the chat for the very last episode, please, folks. Sorry about that. It's just pisses me off.
Yeah. What though? There's something to make you laugh. Daniel said to me after the last week's stream, he goes, "That's probably the angriest I've ever heard you." On stream, he said to me afterwards.
I just couldn't get angry. I just couldn't. I'm sick of getting angry. There's no.
I thought I wasn't that angry, but Daniel was like, "No, that's the angriest I've ever seen you."
Like the time this child that broke down, I just couldn't. I just couldn't put myself through that again last week. It was upsetting, but I refused to let myself get like the way I did the last time. No way. He's not going to get me tears the second time. He's not. No way. He's not going to get that satisfaction. That's what that man wants now.
No. So should we
need
start?
to be like me, Noel,
Yeah.
and just not care anymore.
Yeah. So press 5. I mean, press what?
We've got quite a few.
Right, go on. Do the countdown.
Yep. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
Now this is the last episode, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Another volcano's erupted.
I have me 4 loco. I have some spirits as well. I have a few gins as well. So
Here's the question though: are you going to have them before or while you're watching it?
I might have one before and then have one while I'm watching. The
Not a bad idea.
is like 8.5% per can. So you're looking at, if you were to get 3 cans of Budweiser, it'd be like drinking 3 cans of Budweiser and 2 cans.
And drunk Noel is hilarious.
I won't be drunk, but I think the gins will probably push it over the edge. So it's called The Kidnap, the last episode, wasn't it? She literally gets kidnapped at the end of this episode, right? And then it starts with this episode. Should this one not be called The Kidnap? No,
it's not. I've got A Desperate Venture as the episode.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is the episode. What I'm saying is she literally got kidnapped at the end of the episode called Kidnapped.
Ah, right.
Do you know what I mean? So the title doesn't necessarily...
Well, sometimes the titles match really well. I've noticed this. And other times it's like they almost thought the title first and then wrote the episode afterwards.
People want to know what you're like after a few drinks. I think you could picture Lee as, you know, after a few drinks, jumping up on a table, ripping his shirt off and dancing away on top of the table, making the fool of himself.
No response to that, okay.
Am I right, Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's why he didn't answer. But I'd be the same as well. Fuck it, man. You only live once. Seriously, man. You only live once, man.
See, I'd be the sensitive one.
If you liquor and you're still able to get up on tables and dance away and rip your shirt off, fucking do it. That's what I say. If you're a bloke, of course. I'm not encouraging women to rip their shirt off. Just in case that come out the wrong way, you know. Actually, that didn't sound right either, but like, I'll just shut up now.
Yeah, just shut up.
We've lost real super doctor again.
Yeah, it'll be the weather god.
The old Scotland Highlands there now. I have to tell you, I'm from Cork, and I have to tell you, Scotland is very bad with the internet.
Oh, Daniel's going to kill you now in the chat. There's a reason I don't try Scottish accents when I chat with him.
I remember the Jack Daniels stream in the early days of the channel. Oh, don't even remind me about that one. That was a good ass stream though. What was that, 5-6 hours?
Yeah, you just kept going, and we were like, surely he's gonna just collapse and be asleep at any point, but you just kept going.
What exactly is going on? Are you like smashed? No, we're not drunk at all. We're sober.
This has been a tame stream for us.
All human creatures are naive.
Yeah, this is what I understand the idea of they've had a bad experience, so some of them think all humans are sort of that violent and just can't think. But it does become a little bit silly at this point how much they're like, no, humans can't change, and it's like you've just had the Doctor and his crew around you for quite a bit of time now. Surely you wouldn't. You would maybe be open a little bit to the fact that all humans aren't violent, sort of.
Well, maybe not that bad. No, there was a stream I did where I drank a full bottle of Jack Daniels. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that to anybody, but there you go. Yeah. Now I didn't drink it straight, obviously. I drank it with some Coke, but I was drinking like I was putting my own measurements in. So I wasn't having triples or doubles or anything like that. I was just pouring it in until I felt there was enough in it. My favourite drink used to be going out years ago when I was younger was a double brandy with Red Bull in a pint glass with no ice. That shit was rocket fuel. Yeah, that can happen. You got in Ireland, right? In a pub, it's probably the same in England. You'll always have some people that are drunk, and then they just have a habit of going around to everybody's table, telling everybody how much they love them and all of this, and like they don't mean any harm, but you're kind of like, will you get away? I want to fucking enjoy my pint, like. Could you imagine a fully tanked up panel tomorrow for the finale fireworks?
There'll be fireworks, I think.
That'd be a great idea. I don't think some of our panel drink. I don't know who on the panel drink. I know Cultivated Media doesn't drink.
I don't drink, but I will be drunk with pessimism.
Yeah. Lee, do you really want Lee on the stream drunk? I don't think that will go. I don't think that will go down too well because
I'll start singing David Bowie songs again.
Yeah, because we don't get a word in edgeways when Lee is on enough as it is.
So I've been very good today. Shut up.
A drunk Lee singing as well. Random David Bowie songs like just out of nowhere, like he did the last time. And I don't know what Charlotte is like drunk. For all we know, she goes real quiet, or could be the opposite.
No, apparently I got told I become like hyper. Apparently I'm hyper drunk.
Oh, you're a hyper drunk. There's nothing wrong with a hyper drunk, actually. And if Real Super Doctor was here, I don't know if he drinks, but if he does, Scottish, I say they're just like the Irish.
When I'm drunk, I become all types of drunk, like in one. It's like a spectrum of drunk, I just go
because you can't just do normal drunk. Everything you do is extra.
No, once I'm in, I'm committed. That's
But you go through all the stages.
I can't believe we're talking about alcohol.
Well, we are watching the Sensorites.
Yeah, because alcohol's about the only the only way to really get through this stuff.
Oh, Jesus, tomorrow. Jeez, I'm going to need plenty of alcohol. Plenty of alcohol.
No, literally, the only thing that will get me through tomorrow is probably thinking, I have my Witcher Season 2 in a couple of weeks. I have my Witcher Season 2 in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I've got Lost in Space Series 3, Season 3, I should say.
Yeah, I started watching it. I was shouting at the screen. It's like, oh, God, that girl is insufferable. She's like the captain who does everything right. She's like the doctor who gets everything right. She saves everyone's life. She's always right. When she meets her dad for the first time, then he wants to fly the ship through the meteor fields. She says, no, leave the computer do it. So then it proves out she's right again. And it's like, oh, my God.
Yeah,
Stop the Mary Sue shit.
I know, but Penny's being like that from season.
I know, but gee. No, it's Judy, isn't it? Judy?
Oh, Judy.
God, straight. Oh, man. Just.
Yeah, but she's been like that from day one. So it's like.
And she seems like a really sweet person, but like, you know, the character is just written like infallibly, just like, oh God, it's insufferable. And it's supposed to be a show about Will Robinson and his fucking robot and Dr. Smith, right? That's pretty much what it's supposed to be about. But he's sidelined. Aye. I don't know.
I've got a recommendation for you.
Ruin it for me because I haven't watched season 3 yet.
All right. Well, you'll get what I mean then.
Well, I've loved the first two, so I
like the second one more than because like nothing happened in the first series. It's just boring.
Yeah, I know,
the second one was more action packed, but it was like action packed in the sense that it was like, oh, let's have something happen that's dramatic.
Yeah, but the first series, if you go back, is very character driven. In the first series, they actually flesh out all the characters.
Yeah, but it was still tedious.
Then there's more action in it because they fleshed out all the characters, so they can give us a little bit more. And unfortunately,
the first series was just so slow. It's like nothing happens for like 5 episodes. It's like the same thing could be done in 1 episode.
Lee, if you want something good on Netflix, Arcane. Best animated thing I've seen in years.
Oh, I'm not so keen on Netflix animations, but what is it? Is it manga?
No, it's a mixture of 2D and 3D. It's like watercolor almost.
Is this the thing with the 2 sisters in it or something?
Yeah, no, it's good. I know you think, God, that sounds like it's going to be full of it. No, trust me, it's not.
Okay, well, Charlotte is saying that you should take our word for it because let's be honest, she can sniff out the woken atom.
Well, can't we all at this point?
Yeah,
watch 1 episode and see what you think.
That's it. I mean, you make recommendations to everybody. The least you could do is check out our bloody program.
Yeah, Superman and Lois is really good. I've watched the.
I'm going to watch that now. It's on iPlayer. The whole lot on iPlayer. So when I've got time, I'm going to go through that.
Yeah, I started on the first episode and then I just. Then something else caught me attention or something else was out and I decided I'll hold back on Superman because if it's really good then it'll be something that I'll really, really enjoy and I've just heard such good things about it.
Oh, so and another reason why you might like Arcane, it's very steampunk. And I know you like that sort of stuff.
Steampunk.
I just had a sandwich.
Nice. What did you have?
Literally a can of chicken-flavored substance from the dollar store.
Wow.
So I don't know exactly what it was, but it's not going to kill me because they wouldn't have approved it to sale in the dollar store.
Was it tasty?
I just had some mayo and some pepper, and it's fine. Tastes like chicken.
Right. These are all sick, you are. You're just as bad as my wife when it comes to food. I made her a lovely mushroom risotto today. Right? What does she go and do? She adds some mad fucking spices to it.
Well, no, you see, Noel, you made real food. I had literally imitation food in a can.
Yeah. Oh, I love the imitation food in a can. We do have tinned corned beef over here. Tin ham. We have the spam as well.
You know you can use spam as bathroom spackle.
We were just not going to touch that either of us. See, I like this bit with Susan. Like, she's actually having a job to do in this story, and I do like that.
This was kind of
she's
like
actually
Susan.
Yeah, she's sort of been actually utilised, and she's not just there to scream and to sort of get kidnapped.
Nah, Susan's been alright in this story. See, when she wasn't that tropey little screamy teenager, like, she was actually good when they gave her some more stuff to do. Because remember, she was supposed to be in the first episode, right? An unearthly child. Like, she's very smart. You can see that she's smart and she's clever. And let's be honest, in most of the era that she was in, she didn't get to really express that as much, because obviously, you know, we had Barbara there, and she was kind of in the background, sort of.
Yeah, Barbara was sort of like the alpha female, almost. Like, she was the smart one, she was the capable one. She sort of was the mother sometimes to Susan.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of macaroni and cheese. I know it's an American thing, and I made it for Cheryl, and I made it the proper way. Like, you know, I got her to Google a recipe that she wanted me to use, and I used the recipe. Like, I mean, Americans love their mac and cheese, but
because that's all we can afford over here.
I know, but still, it's like, I don't get the hype. Maybe it's because it's like our stews, which would be throw everything into a pot.
Oh,
you know,
we have Irish stew in a can.
Yeah, we do have that as well over here. That does be nice though. That stewed in the can. It's not bad. It's not bad. Boil a couple of potatoes, yeah, and then heat up your canned stew, and then throw it over the boiled potatoes.
What I do is with that stuff, throw in some more potatoes, baby carrots, a few other things, and put it in the slow cooker. And then you have like literally stew that's affordable.
Yeah. I still do that.
I did have to get some coffee because I learned that my imitation chicken has a bit of an aftertaste.
So you have your a cup of coffee then?
Yeah, I do. The aftertaste is not very delightful.
Yeah, that's the way I think about Spam years ago. I don't know if they've changed the recipe of Spam, but I remember Spam years ago, and you'd eat that shit, and then a couple of minutes later, there'd just be an awful metallic kind of fake aftertaste afterwards. Like, it's... Look, I grew up poor. I'm still fucking poor, right? So poor. You know what it's like. The risotto, by the way, just to let you know what was pre-made. All I just do is heat it up and add a few extra little bits to it and stuff. So I didn't make the risotto myself. So I must just put that out there. I mean, you can buy risotto now and it's cheap. You know, I told her, actually, I kind of said to her, I said, listen, if you ever want risotto again, man, I says, don't buy the pre-made stuff. Go and buy actually the risotto rice for me, and vegetable or chicken stock, whatever, which one you want, and I'll make the risotto for you myself, like, and then I can make it the way you want me to make it. So I've made homemade.
The best ingredient if you're broke is onions, because every week I buy a bag of onions. It's like less than $2, and you can put onions in everything. And raw onions are one of the healthiest things for you.
Yeah. Now I wouldn't eat them raw, but I do eat a lot of onions myself now.
What I
Especially,
do is hot dogs are cheap. I can get the Walmart brand hot dogs, and I just douse them in onions, raw
yeah.
onions.
Oh yeah, you'd be like me now. Hot dogs with loads of onions.
Yeah, but they had to be raw, not caramelized.
Yeah, exactly. Raw. Yeah. On a hot dog, it has to be raw. Yeah. Slightly, thinly sliced as well. Yeah, Cheryl is actually allergic to onions and garlic, you see.
Oh, Charlotte, that is. How can you not? Oh, I could imagine being allergic to garlic.
Oh, but
That would be
seriously,
awful.
it's you don't realize, right? But this is the thing. I didn't realize how restricted people are that have an allergic reaction to the onion family, because they are very restricted in their food, because everything in Ireland, and I think it's the same in the UK as well, everything comes with onion. You buy your pasta sauce, it's got onion. You buy soups, it's got onion paste in, or onion, dried onion, or whatever. You buy sauces, it has onion paste or garlic paste.
You buy like a normal sandwich and it's got onions in it.
Yeah.
See, I'm not allergic, Chris. I just hate the things. So
that's not uncommon, though. A lot of people hate onions, but the reason that you find onions everywhere is for all condiments, and like it's the only thing in the vegetable family now that's actually affordable.
Yeah,
everything else is expensive, but I can see why people hate onions.
Cheryl doesn't hate onions, though. That's the thing. She actually doesn't hate onions or garlic. She loves the smell of them but she's allergic to them. That's the only thing. Like, if she wasn't, she'd love it, but it does. You don't actually.
Oh no! I thought you said Charlotte was allergic. You meant Cheryl.
Because she can't have onion and garlic. She has to read literally every single jar or every bloody thing that she buys, because it could have onion or garlic paste in it. Like.
Oh no, sorry, Charlotte. I thought Noel said Charlotte was allergic to onions. I'm like, oh
no, Cheryl.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel bad for Charlotte. Yeah, that's common. A lot of people hate onions. I feel bad for Cheryl, but it's
all right, Chris. Now and again, Noel gets our names mixed up. And we go, no, you said the wrong person.
Actually, I've just noticed something as well. Real Super Doctor hasn't come back.
He must have really been knocked off because of the weather.
In the chat, I'm going to see if he texts me on Twitter. I tried to do a watch along, love.
Oh, and look, he's giving her a hug. He's showing he's the lovely grandfather now.
Yeah, that won't last long. No, Lee's typing away, is he? Or is that?
Oh crap! No, that's me again.
I see. So I get blamed.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get blamed for every bit of typing that goes on. Yeah.
You don't pick on Lee.
What?
You do not pick on Lee.
Excuse me, Lee can defend himself.
I don't care. No, it's unacceptable. I'm sorry. Is there something you want to try to say again?
What the hell kind of voice was that, Noel?
Right. Anyway,
that was the voice that's going to get Noel into trouble later.
Love the wife, don't you? Get out before we have words.
You don't know more.
Oh, you're gonna have words, dude.
I don't know more than 6 words. That's
really coming from you. Nobody here is gonna give you any sympathy whatsoever.
Yeah. Yous all be quiet, you little traitors. Anyway, let's get the traitors. Thoughts on the final 3 and the episodes, and obviously then we'll be given the rating for all 6. now today. So go and get the onions out, Noel, says Riley.
Get the roast chicken.
From now on, I should just wear a couple of, make homemade necklace and put a homemade, put onion everywhere. No, that doesn't sound right.
See, Daniel's got it right. Justice.
We'll leave it there before I say anything else. Right, anyway, let's get to everybody's up here. So we'll start with Lee because, he likes to rattle on a bit. So,
I was taken right out of this story very early on. I've tried to watch this one before, and it's just not my bag. I hate to say, because I don't like to dump on Classic Who. I don't like to dump on Hartnell in particular, and it's not his fault either. He always puts in a sterling performance.
He does.
It's just the story. It's a very static set piece. And you got the sort of machinations of a rogue Sensorite, and it's kind of Game of Thrones without the sex and violence, or dragons or fun. I mean, they're a great design, but I think there's a reason why we haven't seen them again. I just don't understand. I mean, I can understand it at the time, but as a 6-parter, and you just sort of sitting there going, "Why is this 6 parts?"
This could have been.
It's the second time I've tried this story, and I just can't get into it at all.
Right. So, what would you give it out of 10, mate?
3.
Okay. But Cultivated Media. Sorry. Your next, pal. What would you give it, and what have you got to say?
Well, this story is more boring than the imitation chicken that I just ate. Honestly, Classic Who, it's like any show, it can have duds. To this day, I don't even know half of what's going on in this episode because it's just dull, like painfully dull. You could tell that at the time it was... well, we've got to get this out now because we have to do things. So we just need. It's one of those episodes where you can tell it was literally just thrown together because they had to meet broadcast. It's just I'll be nicer than Lee. I'll give it a 4, only because it's Hartnell, but it's. And again, episode 1 was my introduction to Hartnell, but it's just dire. How's that for optimism?
Well, we got through the first season. That's the first season of Doctor Who. Done.
Oh,
that was the season finales, but we didn't have such things back then.
Yeah, that was his. Yeah,
that was it.
And we go into season 2 now. Yeah, Shirley.
Like I said, there's some good little ideas here. Like the idea of the Sensorites, some of them, like I said, the beginning idea of them being hostile and not trusting humanity because of their experiences. I like the little subplot with the guy who's mad at the beginning and then he comes sane, and I like that little couple sort of subplot. And I think the moments between the Doctor and Susan, and also at the beginning, they are commenting on they've changed so much, and you can see that in this episode that they've fully now come together. So I like the character work. Probably that's the better way to put it. But I do agree. I think the Sensorites are they're a bit of a confused concept. They seem to have quite a few different things going on at once, and maybe if they would have just kept to one idea with them, they might have been a bit more interesting to watch. And it just sort of feels like it starts off the episode also in a very like a mystery, like a thriller. Like they find these 2 people who look like they're dead and they're not, and the Sensorites are like a mystery at the beginning. And then it sort of just becomes a political piece about like diplomacy and power and backstabbing, and so it's very much almost 2 halves of a story. Feels like put together, and I do agree. This is one of the ones when I do think 6 is just way too many. There's a few of Hartnell's like this, that you just think, thank God we've got this cast, because this would be horrible to sit through when it comes to the amount of filler. And this felt like at times it was very padded. But like I said, I like the bits of the story that worked. I like the character work. Everybody's giving a really good performance as usual. I just think and also for an ending point, I think there should have been a bit more action or a bit more something to sort of really show how everybody had grown together as a team. Because in this, they're sort of separated a lot, which I think at the beginning they're trying to say, look, haven't we changed? And then they separate them off a lot. It doesn't really work. So I'll give this a 3, because there's bits I like and the performances mainly.
Yeah, you all make very valid points actually, and I agree with everybody on the points that you have made. I mean, there's nothing more I can really add, except I will say the performances again, as Charlotte just brought up, are just like the main cast are brilliant, and the supporting cast are very good as well. I mean, and yeah, I would like to see these aliens done again, maybe Jordan RTD's era. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing him return. But in saying that, look at his Sontarans. I didn't really like his Sontaran design RTDs, to be quite honest with you. So they look like eggs in egg cups. But yeah, I'll give this. I won't be as bad. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 10. And we've got Real Super Doctor right at the end there, so we'll just get him in, come in and give his rating, and then we're gonna leave it there, folks, because we're back tomorrow for this Doctor Who Flux. So Real Super Doctor, can we get you?
I've seen that story multiple times. I think I would give it a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. Okay, 5 out of 10 there. It's been a mixed bag for this one. Season 2, wasn't it? Season 2 back in the day. Yeah, so season 2. So the first episode of season 2 is. Does anybody know?
No, not to hand.
Nice.
Let's see. Well, the question is, which one is still available?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No, I didn't say. I said season 2. You buggy bugger. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ! Planet of Giants.
It's Planet of Giants. Okay, well then that's the story. How many parts is that?
I'll be seeing you all in 2 weeks. That's 3. Oh, come! I'll do.
It's only 3 parts.
Only 3 episodes.
Oh, all right. Well, then that's okay. We get them all done next week, so that's grand. We don't have to drag that one out.
I'll okay. You can. The other than Delta and the Bannermen, the only other DVD I've never finished.
Well, you can join us next week and try finish it and break a record.
Well, it was almost a year ago that I finally finished Delta and the Bannermen after making everybody watch it, and then y'all didn't believe me about how bad it was, and then you saw it and you figured not only is it bad, it's worse.
Yeah, I had no words for that when you were like, "What can you rate it?" And I was just like, "I can't because I don't know what I just watched."
Exactly. You watched an acid trip, but it wasn't a good trip.
Imagine Jodie Whittaker being the Doctor then.
Oh, don't.
Yeah.
It's that bad. I mean, what they done with Sylvester McCoy was terrible. I mean, John Nathan Turner knew that Sylvester McCoy had good acting skills and all that, and he had talent and the things that he'd done, and he was charismatic in that. And all of that was wasted in these terrible stories. I mean, the stuff, it's... I don't know. I don't know who's really to blame for that. Is it the terrible writing, or is it just the bad direction and the production?
I think it's production.
Talking about Sylvester McCoy, actually, he's in Rob Zombie's version of the Munsters, and Rob Zombie actually put up a photograph. Sylvester McCoy will be in the Munsters movie.
That's actually kind of cool.
So,
and I love Rob Zombie, so it's gonna be gonna be a bloody Munsters.
Halloween movies, don't you?
Oh yeah.
It's
his wife will almost certainly be in it because his wife's in every movie he makes. But yeah, I can tell you right now, this won't be like the Munsters,
No.
Like
put a photograph out. Sylvester, go and check out Sylvester McCoy's Twitter account. He's already put up a photograph, and he was actually very blasé about it. It was like, I'm going to be in. It was something along the lines of, I'm going to be in this thing with Rob Zombie or something like that. It was just so understated. Like, it wasn't like this big deal. He didn't make a big deal out of it. It was just like, I'm in this.
He's also not verified. How is he not?
I don't think Peter Davison.
Oh damn! That is creepy AF.
But I don't think, isn't it?
I love the No, this is not going to be a regular Munsters, but
I'm
looking forward to this now.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's gonna be interesting. I'll watch with interest. It's Sylvester McCoy, so I'll watch it.
He's also in a movie on Prime.
Yeah, is that the one with the old couple in the house and the kids?
It's called Lost at Christmas. It's apparently now streaming at Prime in the USA and Canada. So you probably have it somewhere else.
Okay,
but I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a go. I love, I did like the first Rob Zombie Halloween movie. But forget about it.
I never even noticed how many Doctor Who actual doctors like Sylvester McCoy isn't verified on Twitter. Peter Davison isn't verified. But Colin Baker is. I wonder why that is.
He less said about Colin Baker. I don't want to get into that.
Yeah,
we all know why he's verified.
We don't like him anymore.
He's verified for a reason, but a lot of them aren't verified. I think David Tennant is.
Well, he's not on Twitter.
Oh, no, he would be.
Oh, not David Tennant. Georgia Tennant. She's verified.
Oh, he is, yeah. I was going to say, because David isn't on there. Matt isn't on there. There's, Capaldi isn't on there. There's a good chunk of new who aren't on there.
Yeah, it's mostly the classic doctors.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. They get a pretty easier time, though, on Twitter. Well, they used to.
Well, Davidson did until a certain point.
Tomorrow is D-Day. Tomorrow is the end of Series 14.
I shall be joining you probably part-time and part-way through the stream for a bit. Because I figure I'll do one day of streaming.
Yeah. Well, listen, this is what I'm going to be doing as we've done every week. So join me, yours truly, for the watch along. So hopefully I don't collapse mid-fucking episode or something,
So Noel, has your opinion about this series changed since the beginning?
No, I'm gonna be honest and say that
it was fully scrap
up until the mess that he's made now yet again and doubling down on stuff. Up until then, the series was flawed. It was inconsistent was the word that I used, but I will still maintain that this is still better than Series 11 and 12. No matter how this ends, it still will be better than what he produced in Series 11 and 12. And the reason why I say that is because Series 11 is where I truly believe the damage was actually done, the irreversible damage. I think we all did speak about it, but we were all hoping that maybe that wasn't the case. Even though we did hate Chibs, we still cared about Doctor Who enough for to hope that it could, survive. We've seen it limp on since Series 11, Series 12, and now Series 13 has the lowest ratings since the late 80s, and it continues to hit rock bottom.
It'd be interesting to see what the live is tomorrow night. I think that's actually going to be very interesting.
See, that'll be see, after last week's reaction.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, will it bring in more fans? Will fans just watch it now till the end, or will some just walk away with one episode to go? That'll be the thing. I reckon.
I think they're losing. I'm trying to work out how much.
Well, the ratings brought up last week because wasn't one of your dancing shows or something on right after Doctor Who?
Well, no, it was. I honestly think that Survivors had an uptake on the night live viewers, but I think that's because the Angels episode was received probably the best I've seen a Chibnall episode received in this run. I mean, when I looked online and other fans talking, that's the most positive I've seen. So I think, and it was a good cliffhanger. So I think that got people to come to watch last week's on Sunday.
Yeah, I agree.
Those poor people thinking, "Oh, it's going to get better," and then they watch
basically, and then they watched last week. So I think they're going to lose now.
Damn. I don't know, though. I don't know, and the reason why I say that is because it is a series finale. And his series finales does. Series 11 series finale had got an uptake, even though it was declining during Series 11. It kind of halted and got a little bit of a reprieve.
Although for Series 12, it was a disaster.
Yeah,
Series 12 was a complete disaster, because he tried to go back to the familiar and it just didn't work. Because again, I'll go back to Series 11. The damage was done there. Fans, look at the Timeless Child, the Fugitive Doctor, all this nonsense came in Series 12, right? Okay. That's when he hammered the nail in the coffin there. That was it. That was the moment. That was Series 12.
Oh yeah, but
then a lot of other fans then said, "I will affect this. I'm not coming back. I've had enough." But a lot of fans came back for Series 13 in good faith. And they said, "Look, we'll give it a go. We'll judge it on, on its merits, see how he does." And look, first episode, yes, it was a little bit all over the place. Nobody will deny that. But it was the best thing he had written for Doctor Who at that point. And then I think he did improve. The problem is that slowly but surely, as the weeks went on, we realised that this was all smoke and mirrors, as was predicted by, I think, Lee on the panel from week 1. And that's the thing. But I still will say it's better than what Series 11 and 12 were. The thing is, he's got to shoot himself in the foot now with this doubling down. He didn't have to do it. He actually could have wrapped this story up, said the Timeless Child thing was nonsense. And yes, people still be pissed off with him and say it's the worst fucking era of Doctor Who. But it's at least he would have left without having retconned the Doctor's origins. So that's the problem. But Charlotte, I know you've been dying to jump in there, and I'm sorry that I kept continuing.
No, it's all right. No.
Stuff off me chest, but go ahead, and then we'll wrap it up then.
Yeah, no, there's just two things I've noticed. Because I've sort of been looking this week at reviews for Survivors, and I've seen a lot of people say, "We thought he would pull this off. We thought he could actually do this serialized 6-part story." And I'm seeing so many people say he can't do it. He's completely shown that he cannot pull this off. So I think a lot of the good faith that he had, he's now blown. And I think that could impact the viewers. And all I'm going to say is, yes, it's better. But I don't know, like I said, if people have enjoyed every episode, God, good on them. I'm not trying to damper them. But I think a lot of people are just thinking about the War of the Sontarans and the Angel episode. And they're saying, "Oh, this series is better." But if you actually weigh it up, the first episode wasn't brilliant. And then we had a good one. And then an absolutely shocking episode 3. And then a good one. And then a shocking episode 5.
Yeah, he always has. What did I tell you, though, when episode 3 was coming? I told you he'd throw a curveball in, which he did. And episode 3, I said it, is where it always goes wrong. And that's where it went wrong in this series again, is episode 3. And then by episode 5 then, obviously because we're not getting the 11 or 12 episodes that we should be getting, so this is the second last episode, he's throwing in another one now. He's doubled down on what. Now, as I said, the fob watch is still there. There's still an out. Will he do it? I don't think he will.
No, I think we're just going to get a massive flashback on.
I think he's just going to do it, and then he's just going to do his specials, and then he's just going to sail off into the wind with 2 fingers up and saying "F you for hating on me." This is what he's done. This is why he's done it. He had a chance to do the right thing. He could still do it, right? But do I think he'll do it now? No. But he could still do it. We'll see. We'll see how vindictive he actually is, because that's how it comes across to me. He had no business and no right to go anywhere near the Doctor's origins. Stephen Moffat and RTD have both, hinted at it or added a little bit more mystery to it. But what this man is doing, and this is what I can't understand, is people justifying this, saying it adds mystery. Where? How does it add mystery? What? So the Doctor's not from Gallifrey, so the mystery is where the Doctor is from. But it could be this planet time. So then doesn't that defeat the purpose of the whole thing? It's not called Doctor We Know Who. It's called Doctor Who. And it's called Doctor Who for a reason. And Chris Chibnall, I don't know who he thinks he is. But the origins of the Time Lords and the Doctor should never have been touched. Never have been touched. You can add on to Time Lord myth, right? And stuff like that. But you should never go back and explore the origins. And that's what he's trying to do. And this whole division thing with incorporating itself. 2 TARDISes in the unit and the Doctor's that stupid. And the Brigadier's that stupid. That's what we're made to believe under Chris Chibnall now. That those 2 men are 2 fucking idiots that didn't realise there was another TARDIS in fucking unit, which meant that the Doctor could have, Pertwee's Doctor could have used the fucking part of the TARDIS that he needed, because there was a spare one in fucking unit in the first fucking place. It makes no sense. This is what this man has done. He's creating more plot holes, and people say, "Oh, this fits perfectly into canon." No, it doesn't.
The thing that I brought up in my video was, okay, if the division was also powerful and could destroy universes, and it comes from Gallifrey, then where were they during the Time War? You think they could have ended it very simply?
Exactly.
Oh, Chris, how come they've only now started to pick the Doctor up and try and get to the Doctor when the Doctor's been running around for hundreds, thousands of years?
Convenience. They forgot.
They forgot. They suddenly forgot until Jodie's incarnation.
Yeah, but does it not even that? Then it's the whole Brigadier thing. Now he's a corporal, and then the dates don't add up for how he would have became a brigadier. It just does. That doesn't make sense either. And then the whole thing. Then we saw right in that episode that one phone call where Jodie's Doctor rings up and asks for unit, and then the person on the other line goes, "Unit is gone, doesn't exist anymore." This was the episode that we actually seen that happen. So he's literally gone back and showed us that's the plot hole there, because everybody was giving out about Unit, the way Unit was treated. So there's his explanation. The Grand Serpent, the guy that was able to just infiltrate into all of these organizations. Oh my God, I just more think about it. Look, join me tomorrow for me watch along. Let's hope I don't faint on screen tomorrow, but come and join me for that. And then join me for the panel where Ballstrick said he will be popping in. He'll be channel surfing. So look out for that. He'll be doing his channel surf. And it is the last episode of the series, so it'll be a very lively panel. There'll be lots of people here as well. There was over 100 people watching last week. We'll better that tomorrow, because it is a serious finale, because all the lunatics will be out of the asylum as well and watching. So, yeah, join us for that. That'll be very interesting. And then, of course, during the week, then we'll be finishing up with our last Harder Zone talks. Obviously, we're bringing on those people that haven't had a chance to talk about the series, to talk about it, the latest episode. And then myself, Lee, another panelist, then I'm going to get a big panel together. And then what we're going to do then is we're going to finish up at the very last panel on Series 13, where we'll be taking a look back at all the
my God.
mess, and we'll be going through it all again and giving our thoughts and opinions, just in case there was something we didn't cover in any of the reviews that we've done on the panels. We'll get it covered on that, and then that'll be it. Then back to New Who. Then obviously when the festive special comes back, then we'll reassemble the panel to do that as well, and I'll do a watch along of that one as well. Why not? I might as well just get these over with. Look, 3 more to go, and then RTD arrives, and we see what happens then. And we see what state the fandom's in after Chris Chibnall tomorrow. We'll see. But look, we leave it there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I know the next couple of classic stories. I know this week wasn't great. And last week is obviously split this in 2. And I know next week is not any better. But the week after that, then I think we get a good heart and story then. So I think we're all right then. And we'll have New Who as well back on Sunday. And Rick and Morty will be coming back as well. More details later in the week. Just bear with me. Because this whole thing just does me fucking head in with Chris Chill. I'm gonna go now before I completely lose my marbles. Right, good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
And don't forget to get the alcohol ready or whatever you need.
Or hard drugs, don't do drugs.
Tomorrow. Whether it's tea, coffee, alcohol,
heroin.
Anything that's legal, basically, to get you through this tomorrow. Join us. There
was something interesting. John Bishop said all this will add up and it'll all be sorted.
No, yeah. We're going to listen to a bleeding comedian who's acting for probably second acting or third acting role. I'm not listening to him. I'm not listening to him. He's Listen, I'm not saying that he's not clever, right? But he's not as intelligent as Doctor Who fans, right?
No.
Now, I don't know how he thinks this can all fucking add up, right? If Einstein,
it doesn't. It's just
Einstein
line.
to figure this shit out. Sherlock Holmes couldn't figure this fucking shit out, right? We got some of the most intelligent people in the fandom, and they still don't know what he's fucking doing, right?
Yeah.
So don't be listening to John Bishop. I wouldn't be listening to anything he says, to be quite honest. And I've liked John Bishop in this era, but I wouldn't be listening to him. Look, actors and actresses that work on this show are always going to come out because they know. Why is he coming out making a statement like that? Because he's on Twitter himself and he's seeing the reaction to it, right?
Yeah.
How it's not making sense. So he came out with this statement to say, "Oh, don't worry, folks, it'll all add up." Yeah, we'll see. I know how he's going to add it all up. Lee is right. There'll be a 5-minute fucking scene and it'll just be flashbacks and someone narrating. And there you go. There's your explanation. There's your strings tied up now. Fuck you. Right? That's the way it's going to go. Or I'm going to leave it there now because I'm getting agitated. Here's the Classic Who trailer. See you later. Have a good one.